Well, good morning to you guys. Hope you enjoyed that little bit of footage that I had from the night before. As you might be able to tell from the footage, me and Julian have once again hit the road. So this time we're bound for Stockton sand dunes, and today we made a stop off at some smaller sand dunes that Julian actually somehow found on Google Maps. But we're not actually at the sand dunes yet, I'm just at the beach at the moment. It's looking nice and lovely for sunrise, but we're going to be hitting up the sand dunes right after sunrise and hopefully going to get some good photos there. Although a little bit skeptical on that, you might have been able to tell from the footage before, it rained last night, and rain and sand dunes generally don't go together. I mean, I'm on the sand now and it's sort of wet on top and has a bit of a weird, unpleasant texture to it. All the footprints from the day before are still here because it's rain and they're just sunk in. But we'll keep optimistic for it. But anyway, the goal for today, we are going to be capturing some sort of sunrise image from this location. I think we're probably going to find something at a headland, which is just down this way in front of me. Julian's already on his way over there, because behind me there is just not really much going on. It's pretty flat. I think if I go that way, the best thing I'd find is maybe some sand abstracts, but like I said before, the sand is a bit not so nice. So we're going to trust in this headland. There are quite a few clouds on the horizon, which might also impact how nice sunrise is, but we saw some nice color in the clouds when we were coming up out of the tent. So optimistic as ever. But yeah, it's good to be making another video, guys. It's good to be making another video. What a transition of the scene that was, guys. So just as the sun pops up over the horizon, we just have this wonderful golden light just pouring down onto us. And Julian, the nice guy he is, decides this is the time. This is the time to steal my lav mic. But it's okay, because he just got soaked by a massive wave. So I'm getting to watch that from up high on this little embankment while he stands there taking his photo getting wet. But I framed up a composition myself. Not super inspired by it. It's alright for a warm-up shot, but it's not typically what I'd shoot, so I'm not super crazy about it. But essentially what we're doing is we're using this log behind me right here, and we're just framing it up with the movement of the waves around it. We're trying to slow that shutter speed down. It's going to be a little bit difficult now that we've actually gotten to daylight. It's going to be pretty bright for that. Just as that golden light poked over, I was actually composing it, and it just brought the scene to life. I wasn't expecting this kind of light this morning. I was actually expecting something a bit more dreary, but yeah, it's wonderful. So I'll show you what I've got on the back of the camera, and hopefully you guys agree. Although Julian just got in front of my shot, so that's Julian being Julian. So minus Julian's little interruption here, you can see him getting in my frame right there on the left. We've got this just wonderful scene right here where you got getting wet again. So he's got this wonderful scene where you can see that forking branch in the front, the tree which seems to have fallen over. Who knows how it ended up there, but it's a great subject for us now because it has just this golden light bouncing off the ridge of it, and the water moving around it is creating some really nice patterns. And on top of that, we're also getting some really nice reflected light from the sun, so we might even get some nice abstract representation of the waves, but that's being a bit wishful. And just in the top third of the frame, I'm going to have that island right there. Had to stop talking to point because like I said before, someone stole my lav mic. But anyway, it's all this guy's fault, so we'll go ahead and we'll take this shot. 1/6 of a second, f13, ISO 50. And just like that, we'll put it on 2-second timer, and hope you guys like the image. So I managed to get my lab mic back from Julian after a bit of a physical struggle, and we're going ahead and moving up the headland now. Hopefully we'll be able to get something a bit nice. There's some nice rocks over in that direction, which I'm hoping to find probably an abstract, maybe even something looking back down the beach. Could have some nice leading elements in the rocks pointing you back towards the beach, so that's always a possibility. But at the end of the day, I'm happy really with no photos from this area, to be honest, because the main attraction for us is those sand dunes, which I mentioned previously, and we're going to be heading to those ones after we have a bit of breakfast after this shoot. So this is really just a warm-up to get the blood flowing, you know, the creative juices going. Might even break out the 100 to 400 and capture some nice abstracts of rolling waves. I did that a few weeks ago and it was just a wonderful time. So I was about this close to saying, I'm not too interested in the rocks, I'm just gonna go ahead, give up, shoot some abstracts of waves. I actually started shooting a few, but they didn't turn out that nice. I reckon we're not low enough. You gotta be, for nice wave abstracts, you gotta be right on the water's level, and if I decided to do that, I would be getting absolutely soaked by the waves which are coming in right now, because they're quite powerful. So I decided, a bit of an alternative thing to do. Got the camera all set up in front of me here, and I'm shooting the headland. Not certain if this composition is going to work. My idea behind it was I can either include the horizon and a little island in the distance if I want, or I can crop down and just enjoy that nice color of the rocks as well as the beautiful golden light that's being cast on them at the moment. So I'll show you exactly what I mean by flipping the camera around. And what I mean is this nice little scene here. You're going to see that wave come in and hit that rock, that splash up there. I want that splash to be in the top third of my frame. And essentially this is what I got in front of me, where we have this nice triangular element of the small rocks leading out into the scene. On either side we got rocks, got the headland poking out on both sides, and in this little inlet we have a nice 2 or 3 rocks right there. And the idea behind it is either I would cut off the top of the frame like this. It might work, it might be a bit ambitious, but if not, essentially compose it like you see here, but on the back of my camera I put a crop on it so that we have it as a square, where I've cut out most of the top of it, most of the bottom. I'll brighten it up so you guys can actually see. It's a bit dark there. But this is what we're working with in the frame. I feel like it's pretty nice and balanced for what it is. It's a nice scene, I think. And the real trick with capturing this image, at least I've found when I've been sitting here and watching it, is waiting for that one wave to hit that rock and just boom, right up over it. Because you look at it and you think, oh yeah, that one's gonna do it, and you take a few photos and it doesn't. So it's really just a waiting game. So I'm gonna sit here waiting with my camera for that to happen. And if I get the shot, or once I get the shot, I'll put it up for you guys. And yeah, let me know what you think. After this, we'll head a bit further up the rocks. I think I saw Julian go up that way. Maybe I didn't, I don't know. I think I saw him go up that way. So we'll go check out what he's got, see if there's anything we can feel inspired by. And then we'll keep going with the morning. So, talk soon, guys. And just like that, I reckon we might be hitting our end of the morning, because I've taken that shot just down there on the headland, and I moved a bit further up. Hair's going all over the place. Moved a bit further up, try and see if we can get some more interesting rock patterns, but it's not looking that great, and I've sort of hit a point where I can't go any further, because behind me just have this massive cliff, and I'll just move over to it. To even get to that cliff, I would have to cross that massive body of water behind me. So that's probably not going to happen. The real question is, if when Julian finally gets over here, is he going to say, oh, we can go up there, don't worry about that. But I reckon I'll happily not do that. So honestly, I think it's a good time for some breakfast. The sun's went behind some clouds, so we don't really have much light on me, you can probably tell. And it looks like it's not going to be out for a little bit longer because the clouds are sort of just going right above it. And they're going to be there for a while, I think. So I might start making my way back down to Julian, see if he has anything interesting. I feel like I already said that. I think I already said that in the last one. I didn't end up finding Julian. It turns out he was behind me. But yeah, gonna head down that way. Oh, just as I say it, the sun starts poking through the clouds. Maybe I'll capture something on the way back down, but if not, we'll go see what's up with Julian. So we met back up with Julian, found him here, and of course he was capturing a composition that I'd already got. Very typical of him, but he had a bit different of an angle, so we'll forgive him for this one. But we're heading back to our camp now, and it's definitely time for a little bit of breakfast and a little bit of coffee. Whew. That's the first ever time I've seen a coconut on the beach. Look at that right there, there's a coconut. How tropical is that? Look at this, Julian's about to do something fun. Picked up the coconut and he throws it. Oh! Never know what to expect with this guy. Never know what to expect. Yeah, the light's looking pretty nice though, actually. We're getting some nice light coming through the clouds. It's pretty dramatic. You can see behind me, it's all lit up here, but on my face, not so much. Our mind's on coffee and some breakfast at the moment. I'm just really craving that coffee. So that was just meant to be a B-roll clip of me walking over, but you might have noticed I had a little conversation with Julian before I walked over, and it turns out he didn't bring a lighter. So he wants to light his jet boil using my 2-burner stove. I say that as a mosquito comes and tries to bite my hand. So we're gonna see how that goes. It begs the question, if you have a stove that lights itself, why would you use the jet boil to heat up water? But I'm not going to pursue that thread of thought because I sort of want to see how this plays out. So you guys can join me in watching that.
It worked!
So got the long lens out of the bag, and I've got the bag on my back so that I have my lovely pockets to hold all my video stuff and whatnot. But I reckon we're gonna go ahead and snap the first shot here because I think I like a little green I don't have my glasses on, a little green bush off in the distance. So with this lens, we're probably gonna zoom it all the way out to 400 mil. So throw it up in the air, just extend that one out and try and maneuver our way back to the camera. And we're really gonna have to work with this one. Yeah, I think that'll work. And I'll show you what I'm working with here on the back of the camera as best as I can. So what we're working with here is we have that little bush off in the distance, and we're going to try and frame that one up. Maybe as a 16 by 9, I'm thinking. But yeah, pretty much going to pose that one as a 16 by 9, 100, 400 millimeters out. And I'll go ahead and capture the shot and put it up for you guys. Alrighty guys, and next shot, same sort of concept, but I'm actually going to crop in with the sensor on this one to get it to a 600 millimeter equivalent, just to get the extra zoom in, because we're really going to try and create an abstract image out of this scene. So I'll try and show you what I'm working with here. It's very far away considering I'm at 600 millimeters, but I'll put a little preview of my camera up here for you guys to see, so you might be able to understand it a bit better. But essentially what we're doing is we're trying to balance this like subtle gradation. We're trying to balance this like subtle gradation you see in the sand layers. And on top of all that, we're just putting this really, really nice bush in the top right corner of the frame. And I think it works really nice as a scene, to be honest. Even that little bit of sky poking in is actually quite nice in the scene with its dark color contrasting the light color of the dunes. So I'm pretty happy with that one overall. Not much else to do than to go ahead and snap the shot, but to do that, I gotta put this down to be able to actually hold the camera properly steady. So we'll go ahead and capture that shot and I'll put it up for you guys. Just coming back at you guys again. Just as I took that photo, some clouds rolled through and we're just getting the nicest gradation here. I'll put it up for you guys to see, but oh wow, just look at the sand here. We just have this transition from dark to light, back to dark and then light again, and as you can see, it's already going away. Luckily, I've already snapped this shot, so you guys will be able to see that one. Yeah, and just like that, that moment's gone. These moments in the dunes are just ridiculously fleeting when these clouds are moving up over you. They just create some really nice variations in light, which make for perfect abstract images. So I'll include that one as well as the image that I was going to show you guys. So I'll put them both side by side for you to see. Yeah, hope you guys enjoy those images. Alrighty guys, coming at you with the voiceover because I messed up with the end of this video. I did that typical thing that I feel like I do so often these days, where I start recording the video, or at least I think I start recording the video on my Osmo, and I record the sound on my recording device. And by the time I get to the end of the clip, I realize that I was recording the audio, but I recorded none of the video. And that's exactly what happened at the end of this video. So unfortunately, this is the outro that you guys get. But pretty much what happened is, after I took that photo, Julian was very antsy to get to the Stockton sand dunes, and I understand why. So we decided to just cut it off there and head to the sand dunes. So look forward to that in the second part, guys, because it's going to be a real special one. And make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you thought about the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. So I'll see you in the next one.